Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to Frost and Fire. If you'd like to follow the community challenge rules, which I'm doing here are the rules and the goal. And of course, just a little reminder, if you'd like to play along, Frost and Fire can be found on the Steam Workshop or my website, rhadamant.com/frostandfire. Picking up where we left off, I would like to go over some feedback I received from you guys. So one was from a whole bunch of you, but I will credit BA Gang. He mentioned that it would be good for me to roof off the airlock entrance to my mining. In truth, this is really not all that vital because I have 3 doors and the 2 of them are roofed, but that's fine. I did receive a lot of suggestions about putting the smelter in the cave, but I will give you 2 very good reasons why not to do that. In default RimWorld, the behavior is if you are hypothermic or heat stroking, you finish your current task before seeking shelter. In the case of an electric smelter, that would mean that we would have to complete an entire smelt cycle before we seek shelter. The issue with this, of course, is that an entire smelt cycle is very fast in a well-illuminated, well-heated internal room. In a dark tunnel, such as this one, it could mean death. If you have near severe levels of hypothermia, let's say you're 34% hypothermic, what that would mean is that at 34% hypothermia, you're already slow, you're in the dark, you're cold, you have manipulation penalties, and then you're going to try to finish an entire smelting cycle. It's probably, it could actually legitimately get you killed, which is why I'm not going to put a smelter in here. But the other reason would be that everything in here is at infestation destruction risk. Because it is overhead mountain, there is a non-zero chance that it has an infestation when the temperatures are above -17 Celsius, which currently they aren't, but soon as we progress towards the spring and summer, they will be, meaning that anything I put in here is subject to be destroyed, and for that reason and reason alone, I don't want to invest any infrastructure in that area. One thing I do want to do, though, is come morning, I want to have JD start to mine, JD and Gabe start to mine this uranium. This uranium is going to be utilized for mini turrets. Uranium mini turrets are far tougher than steel ones, and they're also non-flammable. They can't get caught fire. Anything made out of plasteel or uranium cannot burn. You may have noticed I have a heat map overlay here. It's a little weird. It's a little cramped, just because of the massive temperatures that I have to deal with. But that was a suggestion by Jared, and I figured I might as well put that in there. I'm also, on suggestion of Crag, going to put these heaters inside my bedrooms and have the heat leak out to the general workshop instead. And in that way, I will be able to not have the slept in the cold debuff that sometimes we get. And it sticks around for quite some time. So I'm going to have to be a bit of a helicopter parent over Gabe here, or JD when he comes out, to make sure that they do not mine themselves to death. Because again, for the same principle that I don't want to include a smelter in my tunnels, Gabe would not have sought cover for his hypothermia, which he's now getting some frostbite. He would not have sought cover until the mining job was done, which means instead of just a little bit of frostbite, it could have actually cost him his entire life. Also would like to update the stay inside zone. It is wrong. There we go. And now Gabe is moving the heaters to inside bedrooms. And JD here is not going to get full yield as a capable amateur for mining. As you can see, mining yield is at 91%. And therefore, I don't want him to finish mining any of these nodes. I want him to do progress, but not actually physically finish them. just to bring them low enough for Gabe to strike them maybe once and then be done. And I'm going to send him inside as well for the same reasons I said Gabe, for hypothermic reasons. I also have, at the start of this episode, I allowed butchering of the blood spiders. And I'm going to queue up the mega spiders to be hunted. This is for their foul meat. Now, I did mention in the past that foul meat is in no way would I suggest that you eat it. In fact, you shouldn't. You definitely should not eat foul meat. If you can help it, there's no reason to eat it. But what I can do with the foul meat is to feed it to pets, make kibble out of it, make chem fuel out of it. There's other very valid uses for foul meat that aren't necessarily for personal consumption. And to that end, it is worth obtaining even if I don't intend to eat it. All right, so here Gabe comes out with a little bit more mining, and then soon JD, as soon as his hypothermia drops to 0. So these uranium here, I'm going to put towards uranium mini turrets, which are, and I'm going to be building these inside and then moving them outside. Uranium mini turrets are tougher, as I said, so I would also like to, because I'm building them inside, put a uranium stockpile zone, just to keep the materials for the turrets indoors. Building anything that takes a while, like uranium mini turrets, if you can reinstall it indoors to outdoors, do it. There's no point in setting it up and building it outdoors. That's just going to bring trouble. Bash here is indeed in trouble. His hypothermia actually climbed a bit higher than I should have allowed. And Gabe, once they hit minor, I'm going to have them head inside. I'm going to be extra cautious. I don't want hypothermically lost fingers and toes. That sounds like a needless health penalty. I also am going to want to get power ran, and I'm going to have it be redundant. Power ran to the edge of my entrance here so that I can have turrets on it. Okay, I did not let Gabe's. So Gabe, if I check, his mining yield is not full either, but that's because of a lack of manipulation. So I also want my miners to not have hypothermia when they complete the mining task, or their mining yields will be less than ideal. So, in fact, what I'll do is send Gabe inside. JD will continue a little bit longer, just to make further progress, but then be sent inside as well. He is just about ready to be sent inside. I think around 30% is probably ideal. So here's my first uranium turret, which is going to help me in cases of... oh, and let's install these here, maybe? I'm going to go as far up as I can. Like that. And then I also want dead power. Dead power is going to allow me to turn them on and off remotely. Where are you going with that? Okay. Dead power is going to allow me to turn them on and off remotely, which is pretty important to me. Little exploitative, but it's a tactic I've always used, and I'm always going to use it, so it's just the way it is. Now soon we're going to have a steady supply of psychoid. Raptor is researching microelectronics. Microelectronics are going to be very, very useful because of the comms console and orbital trade beacon that it will offer, which will allow us to obtain resources that are otherwise rare, like wood. Now I know I'm treating my wood poorly right now because it is stored outside. You know what I could do? Is let's remove the wood from here and put it in, if I could select this zone, oh my god, there we go. Put it in the low stockpile so it doesn't decay. It does take 5 years for wood to decay, but it is flammable, so that does mean that a would-be raider could waltz by and destroy it. Alright, so now if we take a look at Gabe without any medical conditions, his mining yield is 100%. But it will be dependent upon their manipulation, which means that if I mining yield now as a little cold is still good, but as soon as he drops into minor hypothermia, that mining yield drops from 100% down to something lower, something non-beneficial. We do have a raid of Reapers. Okay. So there's a sizable amount of Reapers. They're all ranged Reapers, it seems. What I am going to want to do is not to have any of my guys get cold. And instead, I'm going to quickly throw together some additional turrets. So Bash, stop what you're doing. I have enough uranium on me already for 2 more turrets. I think it's going to be paramount for me to get those built now. So I'm going to have Gabe stay inside so that he isn't hypothermic. These guys here are going to be coming from this area this way. This type of raid is a prepare a while raid, so I do have a little bit of time to build my defenses up, and I very much would like to. I also might want to get some barricades. So what I'm going to do is a steel wall and barricade mix, I think. Now, I think, I'm actually going to move some of this stuff here. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I think because they're coming from the south, turrets installed down here are going to be more useful. And I need to make sure that they can get plugged in. I also need to manage my hypothermia. So Gabe, would you start to deliver? So this can get plugged in, good. Okay, so then what I'm gonna do is security, barricade, wall, barricade, 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 with a wall, and do the same over here. So that I can take cover behind the walls and barricades for health and security reasons. I'm also going to cancel the mining there and start working on the immediate defenses. Trying to spend as much time constructing as I can. Alright, Bash, you're losing your hypothermia. Alright, I really need to focus on the turrets themselves. So Bash and Raptor, I'm going to have you start delivering to the uranium turret as well. It's going to be important for us to get these built, so. Slag should be off. JD, you go inside. Okay, Bash is delivering all of the components needed, and Raptor all of the uranium needed for these construction projects. And JD, you are now going to be stay close, and let's get the barricades built. And then, actually, JD, first just go straight for the uranium turret, and then build these surrounding areas. Okay, so they're beginning their assault. All the more reason to get this constructed up. Gabe and Raptor, I don't think... I'm going to have them stay inside so they stay warm for now. And yeah, here these guys come. Maverick leading the way. Alright, I do see that I'm starting to get sort of dangerously hypothermic. But I don't have much of a chance or choice. Alright, let's get these plugged in. Taking a look at my power supply. My power supply does seem good. Alright, Bash, you stay inside. And Raptor and Gabe get ready to fight. I'm going to leave this door open for a little bit of heat. Because here they come. Alright, get this plugged in. Alright, Gabe and Raptor. And JD is going to go inside to eat. So we have Accidental Aggro, Maverick, Setley's, Bin, Cole, and Buzz. Oh, and lagging behind Curvin. Alright, and they are running basically point blank to shoot me. I don't much like that. Due to my defensive setups, it is a somewhat of a blind spot. But once I get more... Oh boy, that right leg is not doing well. Once I get more defenders, it should be far less of an issue. Or more turrets, rather. Alright, I'm getting Bash to come out and help with brawling. I'm going to have Gabe try to put some distance between him and his shooters. And then JD, you're going to come out and start firing as well. Now, my turrets themselves are holding up, but this southern one isn't going to stay up forever. It is slowly getting downed. Checking the health of everyone. So Raptor's health is low. I'm going to turn this turret off. It is not going to be able to take much more gunfire without exploding on me. Gabe has a lot of little wounds, individual wounds. Alright, I'm going to turn this turret back on now that the ones above it have more attention, more priority. Okay, I have a blight. That's super bad. Bash is downed. Now, one of the issues here is, obviously, this tree needs to go. This tree is acting as a pretty good source of cover for these raiders. And now Raptor's down too, but that's primarily because he has a critically bad hypothermia. So I am taking cover. Okay, they didn't make it in. Let me rescue them. 3 people downed. Don't worry, the oh, Raptor's up. A lot of it was because of the pain that we were experiencing from the hypothermia is a result of everybody else collapsing. So at this moment, they are trying to kidnap, and they are going to be breaking their way in to my base through the walls. Gabe is up, and Bash and Raptor, they're going to get rescued. JD, with the last of his... Okay, let's get this plugged back in. And plug this back in. And then I'm going to valiantly try to home zone this and repair the really damaged mini turret, which is not likely to be repaired all that easily. Raptor, you are our intellectualist and medic. Let's have you tend to Bash while you're conscious. As you can see, Curvin here is okay, Maverick might be leaving. Curvin here is being shot by our turret. And we're just trying to stop him from being able to get inside the base. Okay, Maverick, are you... Okay, Maverick is mining his way out. Or it's... Well, I guess it's a male robot. His way out of the base, which is odd. I think what I'm going to do is have JD... I'm going to haul this bolty here so that the door can close for insulation, and close the other door behind me as well. Actually, don't close this door. Repair this wall. I'm sure Curvin is going to beat me to it and break in. But I'm going to have Gabe... Yep, here he is. Now, there's going to be some holes here where Maverick is mining his way out. But there's not much of a way around that. Gabe, let's have you grab a bolt-action rifle. Curvin is going to try to kidnap JD, but the mini-turret should stop that. And if it doesn't, Gabe will try to stop it. Yeah, all my mini-turrets, there it is. They're all acting in harmony and unison and getting my guys secured. Okay, so these turrets did their job pretty wonderfully. I'm very, very, very happy that I rushed to build them, because otherwise this would have been maybe significantly different. In terms of medical, this is a little gnarly because everybody's kind of bleeding. JD, I'm going to have you tend to Gabe. Now, if I had someone healed up enough, I might shoot Maverick. Raptor's going to need tending to. Bash is out of the woods. These bedrooms are going to need to be cleaned of blood because they are going to be a massive infestation risk. If not, all right. Maverick's gonna. He's mining his way out. He's leaving. Okay. Before my two doctors are both passed out due to blood loss, I'm going to try... Oh, and JD's already getting an infection. Bash. He's unconscious. So here's what I'm going to do. Gabe. Everybody's going to have to be a bit of a medic right now. Now, one of the things I wanted to do, which I hadn't done yet, and obviously this whole farm is ruined. I sort of accept that. Okay, Bash can be on his feet, so let's go rescue. And then Gabe, you tend JD. Very, very, very bloody. And no, he's hiding in the room. Okay, Gabe, you are going to then tend to Raptor. That room is not very good, might I point out. And then when Raptor is conscious... Raptor will do the really good medical attention. So, Gabe, you are right now just bruised. So I'm going to have you primarily clean up the blood from bedrooms, because your wounds are not going to fester, I don't think. And you are in a daze. Okay, that's all right. Oh, boy. Well, with him in a daze... pretty much all these crops are forfeit. But that's partially the reason why I got so much excess rice, was so that if I did have forfeit crops, I could afford it. As far as bed rest goes, I need everybody on bed rest. Or JD's going to lose his leg. And I'm waiting for Raptor to become conscious. One thing I could do to help Raptor become conscious is to administer Psychic Tea. In an extreme scenario, I could administer Go Juice, now that the Go Juice got delivered. But I hope not to have to do that. Alright, JD, you are definitely going to need to get in bed. And at the moment, I don't have a doctor that can help JD, but as soon as I do, JD is going to get treatment with regular meds. He could tend to himself, but that's probably not sufficient. Alright, I think due to the emergency, I'm going to have JD administer Go Juice and get Raptor on his toes, on his feet, so that Raptor... Raptor is unconscious mostly due to blood loss, but that blood loss is about to levels are about to drop to allow him to move around. Yeah, right now, I think. Yep, there he is. Okay, so Raptor, go 10 to JD. Okay, that's good. We tended to the important part. Now do it without meds, so we don't waste the rest of the meds. And let's clean up the rest of his blood. The catharsis on everyone else will be good. Alright, so we're catching up immunity with infection with JD here. Raptor's trying to clean everything up. JD is now in the clear. He's ahead of his infection. And it does remind me that once Gabe snaps out of it, all my crops are forfeit. Once Gabe snaps out of it, you know what I could do? Actually, let's kill these crops the manual way. Which would be... Here, let me put in dead power here. And that will be the really, really, really fast way to do it. I'm going to rather than to cut them. Just to literally kill them from turned off hydroponic basins. Because once the hydroponic basin's off long enough, the crops just die. So Raptor, let's have you tend to Bash and Gabe, making sure that they are fully patched up and heal quickly. Because there's no telling that the Raptors won't, the Reapers rather, won't attack again and sometime soon. So it's best if I have everybody fully healthy and ready to go. Okay, Gabe should be snapping out of his daze soon, I hope. And I can also turn off the sun lamp. I don't need that on. Yeah, these plants are going to die on their own pretty soon. Blighted plants do not yield anything. So there's really no point in... Okay, JD's now immune. There's really no point in harvesting them. Because it wouldn't provide resources. I am going to wake JD up just to replace some of these walls that are going to keep my base a little bit more insulated, and then spend a little bit of time repairing the turrets so that in the case of a follow-up raid soon, I have some defenses, because my guys are mostly out of commission at the moment. Alright, Raptor's fully healed and back to normal. And then Bash is soon to be. I'll have Bash repair some turrets. Man, that was a brutal fight. Now, some of the weapons that they had equipped with them outranged my uranium turrets, and there are going to be there are some ways for me to deal with that going forward, and I'll have to set up for that scenario. All right, Raptor, I want you to rearm these turrets, and then equip your revolver so it doesn't decay out there, and then haul the plasteel knife in. Great. Okay, so all of the blight has been cleared mechanically through the lack of power. I am going to want a butchery table set up so that Bash can butcher the Reapers. And I'm going to have, instead of pushing my research... Oh boy. Never mind. I was going to say, instead of pushing my research, I want... Yeah. Raptor caught a little bit of an explosion off that. And now he's burning. Oh, Randy, you were very nice to me last episode and the episode previous, and now you're mean. That's why I pick you. So some of my power is gone. Bash, I'm going to have you... Oh, and it's saying that I'm lacking steel for repairs. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I'm gonna move these batteries so that they can power on my base, because death from hypothermia is very much a thing. There. So now I have some backup power, and we'll be replacing that battery shortly. Untended burns have a chance for a pretty decent chance for infection, in fact, so I'm gonna wake JD up and tend to those. And Gabe has an untended wounds as well, so I'll have JD do that as well. Most of his untended wounds were, let's be honest, sort of self-inflicted because he decided to go dazing. I mean, partially because he was wounded and hurt, and I was in a bad way, but still, it was his daze that did it. Alright, at this point, I would say it's less important for me to... bed rest, and more important for me to get things back on track, like my batteries and the like. So I'm having my guys get out of bed and start working. I'll bed rest once things are repaired and sort of back to normal. So I'm having Raptor do some smelting so that we can rebuild that battery that blew up. Yeah, fire foam poppers would have been a good solution for that. One of the problems, of course, is that everything is made out of metal. Metal is fairly flammable, and as a result, you can have scenarios where you have fires that sort of rip out of control, and that's by design and part of the challenge. All right, we are going to be butchering some of these Reapers that came to fight us for steel, and I do believe who's hypothermic. I just got a hypothermia warning, but it's the hypothermia disappeared. It was on Raptor, I think. So I'm going to have Raptor stop smelting after this. I'm going to have Gabe cut down that sessile mechanoid tree. Okay, that's the last slag. Last corpse. Bash is going to do some basic repairs, although he is fairly hypothermic. Here, why don't we clean some of this up and uninstall the butchery now that we don't need it. All right, let's work on the battery, and then let's turn on all of this. All this back on so that Gabe can... Nope, sorry Gabe, go back inside, sow the area. All right, so let's organize our plants a little bit more carefully now that we have a fresh plate. So down here we're going to have cotton. In this cluster, psychoid. In this cluster, I'll put cotton as well. Okay, so that will be a little bit more orderly than previous. Bash is rebuilding the batteries that we lost. And once the south batteries are charged up, I will move the north batteries. Oh, we're throwing a party. Good. Just get those repaired up. And enjoy our party. So Raptor is fully healed after getting burned yet again. We have mostly, or fully repaired turrets, mostly reloaded turrets out front. We still need to set up some of the structures, some of the walls, to keep them better protected. And then I would also like to set up what amounts to be a more formal kill box once I have the time and resources to do it. And the temperatures, of course. So this party should help. It's not that fun of a party, but it should help with the mood. And it does remind me that I should have a party spot. I don't need a marriage spot because these are all straight males. So no one's getting to get married until I have a female that joins. JD's now fully healed. That's really good. All of them are rearmed again. And then these bedrooms here are... they're not cold. So that's good as well. The workshop's a little cold, but that's because I moved all the heaters out of it. I'll get one heater, one token heater in there. I also want to run, with some of the steel I have, I want to run redundant power. And then it wouldn't hurt to have redundant power out here as well. That would look something like this. Just in case I have a loss of one power line, I would have backups. I'd have a way to power up, keep the power on through one cable or something like that. Okay, so we're just almost out of slag in our mining tunnels, and that means we'll be able to resume mining. And we have a deserter quest. So the trouble with this deserter quest is part of the community challenge rules are that I stay allied with all factions, which means I cannot host a deserter, despite the fact that a neuroformer, 2 neuroformers would be amazing. I can't host the deformer, the deserter without violating the community challenge rules. So, unsurprising to probably many of you, I won't be doing that. Getting some meals out. I'm going to be turning off my smelter. I'm a little worried about power shortages, but given that I have a little bit more backed up power available to me, that should be all right. Another thing I would want to get back to doing is I'm going to have Gabe... Wow, look at their moods. Their moods, because of the catharsis and the party, I have some really, really high moods here. All right, so JD is mining down here, and I'm going to have him seek cover now. Bash is the only one left wounded. Bash, when you're done cooking there, I'm going to have you tidy up the outside. Okay, Gabe, finish off that node of uranium and haul it in. And this will be for the 4th turret. Now, there's a lot of space here for me to have exploration tunnels. I want to stay away from the edge of the mountain because sappers won't go through really, really, really thick mountain. Or they will, but only in extreme scenarios. So the more... Oh, I didn't catch you in time. The more careful I am about that, the better. Who's hypothermic? Bash. All right, you stay inside. JD, you stay close. You are going to build this uranium turret. And let me check the... All right, so stay close. We'll allow them to now mine the extent of these tunnels. We are getting... Gabe here is getting a little hypothermic in these mining tunnels because as they expand... this one single heater is not going to be able to support the entire mining tunnel. But we're also towards the end of December now. So I am far less concerned about trying to keep the heat on. Yeah, actually, we're even heating up right now. Okay. Raptor, as much as I want you to get microelectronics, I think what I'm going to do is to add a home zone around here. I do have some more trees to cut that could offer defensive boons to would-be raiders. But the reason I'm cleaning up all this blood is if I am defending out here, I have to look at this blood. And if I leave all this like blood and debris out, it could make the zone hideous and lower the moods of my defenders, which could hypothetically be dangerous, right? You know, if my guys are if my guys have a mental breakdown because of all the blood, that could be fatal. So we've got agave fruit way up here. I will allow it, but obviously we're not going to be zoned to carry that in. Now, one thing I had intended to do, which I have not yet done, Raptor, you should get inside, is to hunt and butcher some of these bugs before it gets warm. So that's something else that I can do with JD. In fact, I'm going to have him go for one right now. I think, given his insulation, this is not a one-way trip to Ice Coffin Town. Yeah, he should be all right. So because they're unconscious, let's not continue to do that. Because they're unconscious, I can just cut their heads off. It's pretty dark, but yeah, I can execute them and then haul them back. He's going to be a little hypothermic, but hopefully he makes it back. Okay. Keep your toes, keep your toes. Okay, I got lucky there. It's not quite the right temperature for us to make that run. It is still pretty dangerous. But let's go ahead and get the steel butcher table so we can build up insect meat. And Bash is basically fully healed. So here, for our butcher creatures, we're going to allow insect creatures. And that will allow us to build up our meat. And then another thing I need to do is to go into my fine meals here and make sure fowl meat is not selected, because fowl meat would be very bad for us to use. All right, untreated hypothermia, let's tend. Trying to be cautious about not losing toes, as movement speed is so critically needed. All right, so here's some fowl meat. Fowl meat. Yes, okay. Our battery banks are almost full, which means I'll switch power sources soon. And our redundant power is getting constructed. One more cable and we'll have fully redundant power. And then it's going to be a focus on out here. I'd like to get rid of those sessile trees as well. All right, bed rest down to 4. I wouldn't mind having one more solar, just because it seems like my batteries are struggling to keep up with load, and one more solar might be all it takes to really top up my batteries every day. Full batteries are just, I would feel a lot better about. All right, now that it's midday, I'm going to keep JD. I'm going to make sure his hypothermia goes away, and then I'm going to make a run for this mega spider. I'm just keeping him inside so that the hypothermia fully disappears. All right, unrestricted, and we'll just go for a straight haul. Don't stop anywhere, just haul. So of course, the trouble is if he faints out here, he could be rescued, but it is a harrowing attempt. Taking a look at the others, so there's this Mega Spider as well, and then most of these guys here, I think all of them are rotten. Rotten. They're all rotten. Okay. They're old corpses from back when it was not winter. So, that stands to reason that to be rotten. So JD is making it back with just minor, but definitely you should go inside. And then Bash will be able to butcher that. Who just got hypothermia? Bash did? Okay, butchery speed is really low due to that hypothermia. But what was I going to say? My components are rather low. So I got to be careful about not building too much more with components. Because any lower and I won't have enough for these sort of periodic repairs of broken down things. Okay, let's try one more run out to this Mega Spider. I think it's warm enough that we'll be able to make it. And you go inside. Gabe, let's have you mine some uranium. Having backup uranium for replacement turrets or more turrets is not a terrible idea. So the rest of these bugs here are all rotted. Yeah, they're all rotted. Over here, I think there's one blood spider that is not. Or two blood spiders that are not. And then the mega scarabs that are not. But the rat... And the value, the meat value of that. Oh, here comes some more reapers. And that there is going to have to be a bit of a cliffhanger. I apologize, but I am out of time. So thank you all so very much for watching Frost and Fire. If you have any feedback for me, let me know. If you want to discuss how your own playthroughs are going, join Discord. The link to Discord is at Rhadamant.com. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll catch you all next episode. Farewell.